Alright, it's time for part 2, because you guys delivered on the 200 likes.
System of proposals.
So let's go and find out what SCP-001 is.
They vary wildly and contradict each other. On the number 1 hub page of number, the system of can write their own vision of SCP uncharted on parts of the site. What is SCP-1? In the early days of the site, when the wiki was just getting started, there was some debate over what should be this sacred number.
Sacred.
1.
The question is, why is there no 000?
Incredibly written. Everyone agreed that it had to be big, something deserving of the very first spot. But nobody could agree who should do the honor of writing.
That is so weird, the fact that they want 001 to be big. You'd think that you'd just start with whatever and it can be insignificant. Instead of being the grandest, biggest thing ever. Huh.
Writing it. The answer? Everyone can write their own vision of SCP-1. Thus, the system of proposals, an author's individual idea of number 1. They vary wildly and contradict each other. On the number 1 hub page, it says that the
average Joe tende
number 1 is so secret that a number of false ones have been created. This explanation allows there to be multiple self-contradictory number 1s. One of them could be the true one to you. Or maybe you want a couple to be canonical at the same time. Maybe all of them are fake. Maybe all of them are true. It all depends on your canon and how much you like a given proposal.
You know, this is truly a system of collaborative efforts. Where it's like, well, we might as well try and please everyone with it.
In effect, SCP-1 proposals are canon builders. Each one sets the tone for a particular author's vision of the Foundation itself.
Interesting.
Creating an SCP-1 proposal is as easy as writing it and then submitting it just like any other SCP. Although, unless you're incredibly experienced, it will most likely get rejected by the community and deleted. As of November 2017, 19 SCP-1 proposals have been successfully posted. Each one is the product of a lot of work and a high concept.
Pretty badass.
6 of the 19. Number 1. Dr. Clef's proposal. The Foundation was established to prepare humanity for the rapture or apocalypse. SCP-1 is the angel guarding Eden.
Aww.
Number 2. Dr. Mann's proposal.
That seems pretty...
The first and only natural anomaly.
That seems pretty, normally religious, I'd say.
Was a spiral path in New York. A group of ambitious scientists experimented with reality using this as the thread and created every single other anomaly in the database.
This one's trippy. That was really trippy. This was cool.
Number 3. S. Andrew Swan's proposal. The SCP Foundation is aware of its fictionality. They are currently discussing ways to kill their authors.
What? Bruh! Bruh!
Number 4. Rojit's proposal. Keter-class anomalies are an inherent part of the universe and can be contained using each other. By releasing all Keter-class anomalies, the universe can be manually restructured.
Yo! A zero-sum theory. Let's go. I like this one too.
Number 5. Twisted Gear's Cactus proposal. SCP-1 is one manifestation of the mechanical god worshipped by a clockwork cult, which wreaked havoc on the world before the military destroyed it.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. So SCP-001 is TikTok before the US banned it. I'll see myself out now.
And finally, number 6. Calendar's proposal. Humanity was originally a slave race whose suffering was harvested to create utopia on another planet. We escaped and then tried to cloak ourselves. The cloak failed, and our masters are trying to bring us home.
Our masters are trying to bring us home. Bring us home. Back to Earth and all. Hey, let's go. I mean, technically accurate. Technically kind of true there, you know.
It's my personal suggestion that you don't start with SCP-1.
So
The proposals are
SCP-1,
usually quite complex and require some knowledge of
I see.
Foundation lore, which is either played with, expanded on, or subverted. Read conventional SCPs before you take the number 1 deep dive.
So that basically means that SCP-001 has been modified and has multiple forms depending on where you're looking and what you agree with and the people at the time that are voting?
Special classifications -EX, -J, and -ARC. There are other types of documents that use the basic SCP format and style, but utilized in a different way. This allows different stories with more diverse tones and themes to be told. The SCP-EX classification designates an SCP that is no longer considered anomalous. It is explained. The object or phenomenon in question still exists, but the Foundation has deemed it to be an acceptable part of consensus reality. Or it was a giant fake-out, or it turned out to be just a new scientific discovery.
Okay.
SCP-J is a joke SCP, a parody SCP in a sense. Joke SCPs are explicitly non-canon, using the SCP format to joke around or make fun of something for the benefit of the reader. They may riff on in-universe tropes like overwrought security, over-the-top containment.
This one's a bit weird because, like, it's kind of like making memes or fun of fictionless things. So it begs the question, why is it different than things that can be mind-boggling to some people? Because it could be a joke to other people, but it could be real to some. It's kind of like having a fear of clowns, right? It's kind of like having a fear of clowns. When you see a clown, most people will laugh, but then some people are really terrified of them. And it's like, the author has to decide whether it's a J?
Cold posting, or bad original characters. Or they may parody things like food poisoning, bad drivers, easily angered people, or that one movie. They may even make fun of the elements in the other popular SCP canons. Ultimately, a joke SCP is just a way to make the reader laugh. If a joke SCP is not well written and very funny, it'll be downvoted.
I mean, humor is subjective, but sure. Given the entire system, I guess. So basically, the author has to tag it themselves with a joke to imply that it's a parody and not to be taken serious, and the entire purpose of it is just to be amusing rather than terrifying. Got it.
And finally, we have SCP-ARC, archived SCPs. These are usually legacy pages from the very old days of the site, when standards were low and the mass edit had not been conducted yet.
To answer your question, Garfar, if the story doesn't fit the structure, then you just get removed. You have to follow the structure to be able to tell your story.
While most of these SCPs were deleted, some of them needed to have text archives due to their usage in other tales or still existing SCPs, or because they were historically important. ARCing is no longer in use since the opening of Series 2, 3, and 4. And you will most likely never need to read one of these.
Interesting.
Tales, canons, and collaborative logs. Tales are
Add
how
them to the
Foundation
React channel,
universe
Bryce.
gets deepened and extended beyond the limits of the simple SCP file. It allows authors to tell stories where groups or people can interact with each other in the SCP universe, to expand on ideas already created in SCPs, or just, to write a prose. Some authors may also turn their tales into a series, usually if they have a cohesive idea in mind, or if it gets really popular. Notable series include There Is No Anti-Memetics Division, The Cool War, The Lombardi Tales, Tales of Mr. Collector, and Pitch Haven.
So basically like novellas? Just having small books of short stories based around a certain SCP?
You can find tales in the top-rated Tales archive.
That's cool.
As submissions to a themed contest, or by trawling around and finding recommendations. You can also, as we'll soon learn, read the tales in a canon. A canon is your own set of assumptions about the tone, setting, and dynamic of the universe. Each of the canons in the Canon Hub is a wildly different set of assumptions based off the baseline
That's
SCP
kind of
foundation.
wild.
Think of them as mega tale hubs, or parallel universes, or self-contained cinematic universes for authors to play in.
So basically it's kind of like a metaverse? I was like, is there even a plural for canons? Either it's canon or not canon. Why is it called canons? It just sounds like, I think like universes would have probably been a better word to explain this. Yeah,
Here are 5
multiverse,
notable
yeah,
canons.
that's what I meant.
Broken Masquerade, a world where the Foundation's existence is known by everyone. Resurrection, a deliberate attempt to resurrect the action-orientated SCP Dr. Crazy Days of Series 1, in which an MTF composed of anomalous humans is formed.
An MTF?
Third Law, a pulpy sci-fi paratech world dominated by the machinations of Prometheus Labs and Anderson Robotics. Rat's Nest, the military killed God, and the Foundation is covering it up.
This sounds like a plot for an anime. This one, The Rat's Nest.
Reality is slowly unraveling and falling apart. The Gulf, small-scale poignant series set in the southern United States, usually having a restful, mysterious feel, and featuring religious symbolism and unconventional types of media. A number of pages on the site
Jesus
are tagged
Christ.
as collaborative. Collaborative logs or pages can be edited and added to by anyone, although some quality oversight still exists. This is a good way to get your creative chops and contribute whilst not taking the plunge of writing an SCP.
I felt like most efforts are collaborative, but I guess like they're collaborative in the sense that people upvote or downvote them. Not necessarily about writing or correcting an idea or proposing something different on it.
The 3 main collaborative pages exist as lists of mini SCPs, very small-scale items or phenomena that don't need to have a narrative, but still need to be unique, appropriate, and interesting. They are Log of Anomalous Items. The SCP Foundation has discovered a substantial number of items which are simply too useless to merit further attention.
Too
This document
useless,
lists those
oof.
items which have prompted some curiosity. Log of Extranormal Events. This page is to document anomalous events that have attracted the Foundation's interests, but occurred too briefly for the Foundation to secure or contain them. And finally, Log of Unexplained Locations. This page is to be devoted to the
This is kinda
documentation of
interesting.
low-threat anomalous locations, which have
So basically, these are more like people have an idea, but they don't really want to do certain things, so they just scribble it down there, and someone might just take it and go with it. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like you have items and locations. Those are like pretty prime to just write something down.
been discovered by the SCP Foundation over the years. There are a number of other collaborative pages, usually SCP supplements or logs. Keep in mind that guidelines for contributions still apply though, and if your edition is deemed to be below standard, it'll probably be removed. Groups of interest. The Foundation isn't the only fish in the anomalous sea. Other organizations, collective, and groups exist that utilize or create paranormal phenomena for their own purposes. Some are associates of the Foundation, others are rivals to it. Many of them quietly pursue
you gotta
their own
have a good
interests,
rival.
while a great many of them fall on the lines of good and or evil. The vast majority simply have a goal in mind that's somewhere in between.
I mean, if we look at it from the perspective of good and evil is subjective and highly based on where you were born and what you were taught. So it kind of makes sense that they're all in a gray area.
Here are 7 notable groups of interest. Are We Cool?
Are we cool
A
yet?
collection of artists, usually producing
Bruh, why does a group get the name Foundation and has like a really cool sounding thing and then you have the Are we cool yet? Playing on the Are we there yet? Are you winning, son?
surreal and disturbing works of art. Their pieces are designed to have maximum impact.
An
and are usually
artist,
lethal
interesting.
In some way. The Chaos Insurgency. A rogue cell of the Foundation that uses terrorist means to steal and repurpose powerful anomalies to gain control over nations and conduct unethical experiments using them. The Church of the Broken God.
Of course, we had to have a
widespread
church
cult
too.
believing in a clockwork god who is broken into pieces all over the world.
Hey, these guys are like. They went with SCP-001 and went like, Clock God, yes, we're gonna worship you.
Dr. Wondertainment.
Wondertainment, oh my god.
Artifacts that are supposed to be children's toys.
Oh, I like that. I wonder if it was slightly inspired by Willy Wonka.
The Serpent's Hand. A small organization headquartered in an interdimensional library, believing in anomalous rites and the normalization of the paranormal and magical. Marshall, Carter, and Dark. A
This one sounds like a lawyer's office.
corporation that buys and sells anomalous items for the benefit of the super rich.
Okay. I guess an auctioning underground organization works as well.
Global Occult Coalition, or the GOC. A massive military organization under control of the UN, using technology and force to destroy the extra-normal wherever they find it. Many groups also have their own form of documentation, similar to an SCP. On the wiki, they are called GOI formats, and they are stories told from a different perspective than the Foundation. For more information, visit
That's
the
kind of
Groups
cool
Interest
though,
page,
that you have
as
a lot
well
of
as the ongoing Groups of
groups.
Interest overview and guide on the SCP Declassified subreddit. Beyond the main site. You can find stories and SCPs to read even beyond the classifications and places I've already detailed. In this final section, I present other outlets of writing associated or tied to the SCP Wiki that you can also look into. Firstly, a great place for you to discover lesser known but very well written tales and SCPs are in the contest archive. For example, SCP-1000, 2000, and 3000 contests all have SCPs themed around urban legends, sci-fi, and horror, respectively. You have the Short Works contest, and the D-Class contest mentioned earlier, and the History contest for both tales and SCPs.
That's cool. The fact that they kept the archive for all previous entries and stuff like that for people to be able to go back and look at them, even though they didn't win the contest potentially. That's awesome.
Then there are the gigantic multi-part mobile task force contest and groups of interest contest, and then the dystopia and reimagining contests, and so forth. There's so much to find. The Wanderer's Library is set in the mysterious, ancient, magical library of the Serpent's Hand.
Hey, can I
It
join the
includes
Wonders
prose
Library?
pieces and poetry set in the SCP universe.
It sounds
but
like a cool
focused on
place.
evoking a sense of wonder, of the extraordinary and fantastical. Quote, a sense that there is a larger world beyond the one we know. In the world of the library, these wonders are hidden, but never truly far away. But never forget that this is a wilder world than our own, and it's never entirely
Oh,
safe.
stuck in a library reading. Yeah!
And
I like
finally,
that. I like
we have
reading.
international foreign SCP branches. There's French SCPs, Russian SCPs, Japanese SCPs, and a whole bunch more. Each brand has their own set of SCPs, many of which have extremely creative and diverse ideas. If you're looking for more SCPs to read, this might be a place to find cool concepts. And if you don't know a foreign language, the main SCP-INT
I wonder if
wiki
there
hub
are
has
SCPs
translations
in
of
my
some of them.
language.
This was entirely written by Reddit user Modulum83 over on the SCP Declassified subreddit. All links will be in the description. If you enjoyed it, give Modulum83 some praise in the comments section for writing something I couldn't write myself. I hope it answered most of your questions about who we are and what we do. And
Honestly,
that it convinced you to take a
did.
dive and become part of the universe and the
Honestly, it did. It sounds pretty fun and pretty enjoyable. It was easy to follow and understand, and it's also like structured in a way where you can just go back, and if you didn't understand the term, you can just browse through the video, and you know, it has all the stuff properly tagged, so it's not like it's a problem. That being said, let me know in the comments below what SCP you want me to watch and react to first. The most liked one, the top liked one, is gonna be the one I'm gonna pick, probably in a week from when the video is posted. So happy commenting and liking other comments.